thanks for joining me. And Capricorn, this is your July 2018 reading. Those 3 decks that you see before you and 3 cards from each of them should lead to a nice comprehensive reading. We do have eclipses coming up again in July through July and one in August, so there's a period again of, recreation, if you like, and being able to see things that we currently had been blocked off from seeing, either by choice or just unavailability to perceive the future or what's going on around us. So when the eclipses are in, we have a lot more foresight, a lot more intuitive awareness, and a lot more activation. Before we start the reading, I did some intuitive work for you guys, and yeah, I'm just reading back here on my notes, and it says the moon may play a role for you. So perhaps the eclipses will be quite intense for you guys. There could be something about cycles for you. So the changing of cycles or new cycles coming in. There could be a new cycle of fertility and sexuality, love and harmony and fruition. So when I say fertility, it doesn't necessarily just have to mean the conception of human fertility. It can mean fertility of ideas, thoughts, creations, projects, and of course manifestation. Also, there may be a Cancer or Pisces or Scorpio person involved in this, and the words birth and harvest are also mentioned in the energetic sway around you for the month. So let's put these 2 aside and start with the energy oracle cards first for Capricorn for July. I have actually shuffled these with your intent just before we started the reading, so they may not require too much shuffling. Capricorn, all tied up, angel of strength and attachment. We will look at what the John Holland Psychic Tarot now has to offer for Capricorn for July. Conflict and defeat, stand your ground, and accelerated motion. 2 5s in the reading there for you guys, one up here and one here. 5s are often midway of a journey, of a project sometimes. So this is Capricorn, July. Queen of Pentacles, which very much exudes your own energy, that earth sign energy. The 3 of Swords and the Page of Rods. We will be reading through the columns down from the left hand side predominantly. However, every card can be interacted with any other one at any time depending on the messages that arrive. So if you feel a real connection to a card up on the top right, for instance, and one on the lower left, you can put that together yourself. The other thing too I've noticed as the readings have progressed for the month is that this card in the middle seems to have designed itself quite an important role. And I guess that is because it attaches itself at some particular angle to every other card within the reading. So even though we are aligning ourselves to read down the columns, that's my watch reflecting in the sunlight, so I can use it as a pointer. As I said, even though we are reading primarily down the columns, they are all inter-reflecting and interacting off each other, and certainly this one in the middle does seem to have a degree of importance and potence. So the stand your ground is primarily or traditionally the 7 of Wands, and it is one that says don't give up if you feel there's competition around you or if there's lack of completion with something that you've been doing. So it's often associated with our creative section in life, or our career, or our ideas or thoughts, or along those lines. So it can be associated with career or with your passionate and your interests and your whole creative persona of life. So I don't know, if some of you have been on a project that you're still finding is unfinished, or it's not coming to fruition, or there's a block somewhere along the line, don't give up. Just be firm. And also, if there's people around you suggesting that you're not right, or that things you have said or done or ideas you have presented are not either palatable or offering the right direction forward, just look around and see if you can add to it or restructure it. Or yeah, it's about readdressing situations but not giving them up. So sometimes we have to bend a little bit to enable something to flow and grow, but it doesn't mean aborting it completely. Let's come over here to the All Tied Up, the Conflict and Defeat, and the Queen of Pentacles. The All Tied Up card represents quite literally, as does the photo portray or the picture on the card. It feels as though there's something around you that's not free flowing, and we've talked about this a little bit in here. There's a possibility it could be any aspect of your life at the moment. It could be personal emotions, it could be career related, it could be finances, it could be health. So something around you is just still gluggy and a little bit slow. We get ourselves tied up when we restrict our vision and we restrict our perception of ways of moving forward. So how to free that one is to open up to a broader picture, to a bigger picture. And even though I don't usually advise this, I tend to say to people, try to be in the moment, which does actually help being tied up. But sometimes we need a bigger vision. So there may be a message for you guys about looking further forward to see how an outcome might pan out, or to see how you can plan to make an event go a certain way for the future. So planning might be really important for you guys, and I got the feeling through this card as well. The other thing with the All Tied Up, it matches very cohesively with this card on the right hand side, the attachment card. When we become attached to things, we become tied up. So there's the two cards are reverberating the same energy or message. They're saying, if you allow yourself to become free again, and if you remove attachments around the way you want things to move, so if you're attached to an idea or how it has to get to its fruition or its end point, or you're attached to a philosophy or a belief system or a relationship, then it's time to break free. It's time to see the broader picture and expand your horizon. A little bit like this. She's sitting there looking up to the stars and up to the heavens, and then she sees this activity and this motion. What you see when you look further out is far bigger than what you see when you're all tied up and stuck in an attachment. So it's really important to broaden your perspective and to think outside the box and to think beyond yourself at this point. I find that when we're all tied up and we're stuck to attachments, we often find anxiety and depression become the major focus point. That's because we're spiraling down and into a smaller visual perspective. So if we open that up and we spiral out in the opposite direction, we can gain so much more sight and look at all of the space and ideas and creative abilities that we can actually attract. So coming back to this one, conflict and defeat, is the Five of Swords. Now, it can literally mean that there can be arguments around you or disagreements around principles or situations or ideas or concepts or friendships. And again, this can be related to work because it is the Swords sign. It always relates to communication at any rate. So it's about how we communicate with people around us. We can choose to use words that are more positive and uplifting than, say, negative words or aggressive words if disagreements or disparities are around us. So if there are periods in the month, in July and leading through to August, or even back here when I'm doing the reading in June, where people are sort of like argy-bargy and in your face and disagreeing, you can choose to walk away from it before it escalates. Like this guy here, he's well and truly, he's walked away after something really negative has happened and it's completely draining him. So you've got an option. If things are getting out of control with situations or people or personalities or ideas or friendship groups or anything, walk away before it falls apart completely, because this card is very much that middle road, number 5. It tells you that it's only halfway through. So how you decide to act in the middle of any set of circumstances will be leading you towards how the actual outcome is. When this card turns up, if we have strong verbal disagreements with people, they will be gone, quite often forever. It can be the very ending of relationships, any relationships, work colleagues, friends, neighbours, siblings, parents, grandparents. So if, though, you choose to use more positive words and positive energies or walk away from it, you're giving both parties, including yourself, time to think about it and possibly reassess a situation that could be mediated or litigated or improved upon. If, however, you feel like he does there, defeated by something, by someone around him, by conflict of other relationships, and you feel it is time to move on, then don't be afraid to do that either. No one has to suffer with negative relationships around them or being abused or debased. So the choice is yours. It's how you react that makes the difference. We come down here to the Queen of Pentacles, and as I said earlier, she is really exuding your energy. Now this could be you feeling strong, as we see the Angel of Strength up there, or it could be referring to someone else in your life who is also an earth sign person, who may be supportive and nurturing and offering you strength at the moment. It could be around your career sector. She does bode well with finances, so perhaps some of these card messages in this first column have been in alignment with your career, and there might be messages of feeling frustration around your career. But overall, the outcome down here, if you use your grounded, logical, intelligent Capricorn energy and methodically work through it without losing control, it appears it will come out in favour for you. And there might be some positive influence in your financial sector from maybe a whole bunch of situations that were occurring along that line. This could even be to do with the way you invest your money, or how you have your money in your bank, or if you have a mortgage, or if you are thinking of buying something, or if you're trying to save. All of these things could be related to a financial strain one way or another. Coming up to the Angel of Strength, it is beautiful to see that. So we're feeling that somewhere there is this inner strength, and definitely this one here also gives off great power. It gives off power and passion and the ability to see into the future, to see more insight, to stand up above any people who are competitors around you. So there's a lot of strength in this middle row, definitely in these two cards here. And then we see the Three of Swords down here. Now oftentimes this card again is a little bit like this. In fact, he seems to be going down the stairs to this card here. So as I said earlier, if he doesn't handle it at the right temperament up there at the Five of Swords, he could very well end up here in the Three of Swords, feeling really deflated and sad and at a loss. This card can often turn up when we see relationship breakups, when we see a separation or divorce, or when we see even things like an affair having taken place. So when three people are involved. Now, it doesn't have to mean the end of the relationship, but what it does mean is there is urgent need for remedial communication in the form of words, either mediation or counselling, or some sort of support mechanism to try and heal a situation in a relationship. So if your relationship that you're in, whether it's a romantic partner or a sibling or a family or a friend, if you think it's worth saving but there's a falling out occurring, then it's up to you to try and get this communication pathway moving forward. I often do love to put a healing heart energy stone on there, and that particular stone is the rose quartz energy, which is very good for bringing peace and calm and insight and love back into the heart. The other thing it can represent is the physical heart. So some of you may actually have issues around your physical heart in the month of July. You may need checkups, or it may be a time when you're thinking, gosh, I'm actually going to make a change in my physical diet or exercise regime, and you might take a turn to change your physical health around that relates to the heart area or the chest or the lungs type area. Coming up here, we've talked briefly about the attachment cards, similar type energies as the all tied up. And as I said to you, it felt that there's a double message there for you. And the fact that you've got the 2 5s, kind of like a triple message going on within that triangle. So it's the same that we've really been talking about. I don't need to go over it a great deal more. We come down here to accelerated motion, and this is the 8 of Wands. Now this in the traditional tarot can sometimes represent travel, and it can mean travel by air. Some of you may be going on a plane trip in the month of July, possibly overseas, and it might be for a holiday. For others of you, this could be related to your passionate side of life, like a career or your hobbies, or something that's driving you, making you want to do something in particular. It's a positive card, and it bodes very well for a lot of different aspects in life. Now it can also really bode well for new relationships coming in, and quite often for romantic ones. So this attachment card up here, it does kind of seem out of line with these two down here in particular, unless you've got an attachment to a certain desire about wanting something to happen fast or coming into your life quickly. Or, you know, you're like, I'm waiting, hurry up, I'm waiting for love, or I'm waiting for a new job, or I'm waiting for money. Let the attachment of timing go. Let the universe deliver your timing, and you will find that so much more manifests when we let it be. It is as it is right now, for a reason. The bottom one here, the Page of Rods, he's looking into the future. So I think as July merges out, because this is your end card for the reading, he's taking you into the rest of the year. He is often about career opportunities, new ideas, creative passions and forces. When the pages turn up, they usually signify newness because they're so young. So great new opportunities, these two connected, and interestingly enough, they have started touching together as the reading has merged on one way or another. I think they're very connected. So there could be something coming towards the end of July possibly that really does accelerate some motion for you in and around your creative sector. Perhaps it's after this, standing your ground and kind of getting through this stuff going on over here, you go, right, watch out because I'm coming. Boom. And out you go. A great way to finish your reading with a lot of strength and with a lot of knowing that there are changes and movement and passion being ignited coming forward. This person can sometimes also represent, a fire sign person. And for some of you, this might be a new relationship coming with a fire sign energy. It might be that. It might also be a new career-related relationship coming, because the wands do talk about the career as well. So there we are, Capricorn, a nice, passionate, pretty stern reading with lots of good insight for you and lots of things for you to contemplate and think about, especially if any of the type of situations do arise in the month of July. So thank you for joining me all, and I love it when you leave your comments. I love reading them all, and I love that you like the videos and sub the channel. Remember to watch your moon and rising videos as well, because you might find some insightful information there too. Wishing you all a wonderful July ahead. Enjoy these eclipses coming up, because certainly right there in the middle is the ecliptical card staring at you in the face. So welcome to the next half of the year and the new journey coming up. Much love. Namaste.